I know there's a lot of people who still haven't accepted the fact that these drones are here to stay. They're here. You know what I'm saying? So my suggestion is start warming yourself up to seeing them more, embracing the fact that they're going to be around, because they're not going nowhere. You know what I mean? And I know it took a lot of people a long time to accept the internet. I mean, I still know people, my elders, who just still have nothing to do with the internet. You know what I mean? And you're going to have that. But for the most part, start trying to, you know what I mean, accept it. Give some of it some acceptance. Now, the other type of drones and stuff like that, those are the ones we got to be careful of, all right? But here is, if the drone didn't capture this, no one would believe it. All right, so we're going to check this out. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, join the fam. Let's check it out.
Drones have been everywhere these days. These small aircraft have a lot of uses, and as years pass by, researchers and innovators continue to improve them. Back then, drones were only acquired by professionals. Anyone can get their hands on this tech. It's nice to see that we're utilizing them to their full potential, and the more we use them, the more drone footage we have. Today, the internet has become a treasure trove of drone videos. Some of them are your usual clips, but some of them are more intriguing than the others. In this video, we'll take a look at some of the most interesting drone clips on the internet. From the insect drone to the creepy Scarecrow, here are the 15 scariest things caught by drones. Number 15. Insect drone. If you've dreamed of getting cool gadgets as a secret agent as a kid, this is surely one of those. At first,
see, now these are the ones you got to watch out for, because their intent is not always good. The people who are using these insect drones.
Getting cool gadgets as a secret agent as a kid, this is surely one of those. At first glance, this looks like an ordinary insect, but once you take a closer look, you'll realize that it's not an insect, but a drone. The US military has been allegedly developing these micro-drones that resemble insects, complete with flapping wings and big googly creepy insect eyes. They're known as micro-air vehicles, or MAV, but let's just call them the bug drones. This tech will help the authorities to stealthily obtain vital information and will do an important role in surveillance missions.
Who's gonna notice that? And then if it make a little zzz noise, you really ain't gonna pay no attention. And they could be sitting there right there, video recording you and audio recording your conversation, and you don't even know it. See, that's part of the other drones, the scary drone.
Stealthily obtain vital information and will do an important role in surveillance missions. You gotta admit that while this is a pretty cool invention, it's also a little scary. Who knows? There might come a time when it's hard for us to distinguish which is an insect and which isn't. If you really think about it, nature really is the best engineer. For instance, did you know that the dragonfly inspired a lot of innovators to make a drone with the same capabilities? Dragonflies are expert flyers. They can fly straight up and down, and they can hover in the air. It will take years for us to completely mimic them, but we're getting quite close. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 14. Murder scene. One of the many uses of drones is their insane capability to provide us with a clearer view of anything in bird's eye view. We probably wouldn't have been able to spot this murder scene on Google Earth if it weren't for the aircraft that took this photo. In this picture, you can see what appears to be bloodstains on the bridge, and near it is a man and what looks like a sack or a body. The scene looks spine-chilling, and you can easily tell what happened just by looking at it. When someone noticed this on Google Earth, they were immediately terrified at the prospect of discovering someone's brutal death. But as it turned out, this footage is more innocent than it looks. Many people thought that someone wounded had been dragged onto the bridge, hence the bloodstains from the beginning to the end. But apparently, it wasn't the case. You can see that the backstory of this photo is more on the wholesome side. The culprit behind the quote-unquote bloody trail is a water-loving golden retriever, Rama. Apparently, just when the aerial camera took this photo, the dog had just gotten out of the water and hopped onto the bridge once again to jump from its edge.
Wow. So that's water, and it just stained the wood that way to make it look like that.
So there's no murder to solve here. Just a happy golden retriever enjoying his time with his owner. Not gonna lie though, I was almost fooled by that. The water really made it seem like the bridge was stained with blood. Number 13. Giant Pentagram. Alright, internet sleuths, it's time to put on your thinking hats. An aerial camera managed to capture yet again another intriguing photo. This photo can be seen on Google Earth, and it's incredibly suspicious. In popular fiction, pentagrams are used as a satanic symbol. However, did you know that contrary to popular belief, this symbol isn't solely the sign of the devil? The five-pointed star symbol is revered by many cultures across the world, and many interpret it as the symbol of unity of all things. In some religions it means life and all things positive, but regardless of its meaning, it's quite concerning to see a giant shape etched on the ground with no explanation whatsoever. Who made it, and where did it even come from? Now here's the thing, this symbol was found on the southern shore of the Upper Tobol Reservoir. There are no settlements near this area, and the nearest place populated by humans is about 12 miles to the east of this symbol. The entire pentagram measures roughly 1,200 feet in diameter, and no one knows why it's on an isolated area in Kazakhstan. Many claim a satanic cult is responsible for it, but many others claim that this could be among one of the many archaeological ruins found in the area. Many ancient cemeteries, burial grounds, and settlements, with some dating back to the Bronze Age, can be found in the area, all relatively unexplored. What do you think this is? A symbol of an ancient religious group, or a symbol of a satanic cult?
A creative landscaper who got too much time on his hands? That's what I think it is.
Number 12. Narrowest Ridge. This is the Unach Egach, the narrowest ridge on the British mainland. It's often described as a moderate rock climb challenge, but for me, this is already a daunting hike. I mean, just take a look at this. This ridge is so steep and narrow that one wrong move will give you serious injuries, or worse, death. However, a lot of people still visit this ridge just to climb it. I have to admit that the view is breathtaking, but it also triggers my fear of heights a little bit. This vertigo-inducing ridge isn't for the faint of heart, but for seasoned hikers, it gives the experience of a lifetime. Take a look at this video from a hiker's point of view. I think this view is terrifying, and I seriously salute people who have the courage to climb difficult paths just like this one. Number 11. Dragon. This mythical creature is known all around the world, and their stories have fascinated a lot of people across the world. The great and powerful dragon. These mythical creatures have always been featured in numerous fictional works across history. In many legends and cultures, dragons are hailed as majestic and powerful beings. In some legends, they're monsters that need to be slain, while in some, they're godlike creatures that need to be worshipped and pleased. We don't really know when these mythical beings emerged, but stories about them have been around since the age of the ancient Greeks and Sumerians. Many of us find dragons incredibly fascinating, but unfortunately, they're only real in our minds. Or are they? Recently, this video of an alleged dragon has been going viral on the internet, and many are convinced that this is the remains of a real dragon. The corpse was allegedly found in an unknown location in Mexico, and no further details can be found about this video. I have to say that for once, we have a clear and high-quality sighting video, and the corpse on the ground looks realistic as well. Many seem to believe that it's a real dragon, but I'm quite skeptical. What do you think? I think even if it's fake, it's still incredibly impressive.
Yeah, I think it's an art piece, but it's a very, very realistic one, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And that's me sitting right here. If I was up on it, you'd probably be able to tell a little better to make out whether it was real or fake, but yeah.
If this is just a sculpture, it's still astounding nonetheless.
Yeah.
Number 10. Haunted House. This drone explored an abandoned house near the Klamath River, and the video looks like something out of a nightmare. This looks like a moment out of a bad dream, and it's creepy. It reminds me of those horror movies where people seek refuge in an abandoned house in the middle of nowhere that soon turns out to be haunted by ghosts and demons. I don't know about you, but if I ever see an abandoned house that looks just like this one, I'll listen to my gut and get as far away from it as soon as possible. I've seen enough horror movies to know what's going to happen next.
Right.
Number 9. Scared Villagers. It's normal to be scared of something you're unfamiliar with. Just imagine you're calmly walking on the street when suddenly you see a strange device that you've never seen before flying towards you. I'd be horrified. In this video, you can see several villagers in Zambia scrambling to get away from the drone approaching them. Everyone ran away without hesitation, and they even abandoned their bicycles because of how terrified they were of the drone. I mean, if I were in their position, I'd probably do the same thing. Who knows what that creepy flying thing can do? And think about it. Even people who are already familiar with drones are also extremely wary when they're being followed by one. Number 6. Sasquatch. Are you really from North America if you've never heard about the legend of Bigfoot? Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a massive and mysterious humanoid creature that allegedly lives in the wild and forested areas of Oregon and the west coast of North America. Since the early 1900s, historical records contain sightings of a giant, hairy, wild man stalking hikers and locals near the woods. One of the most famous sightings is the account of several miners on Mount St. Helens in 1924. They purportedly have been attacked by giant humanoid apes while working, and while many dismissed it as untrue, many believe that the miners encountered Sasquatch.
Now, that's the first time I've ever seen like fossilized footprints of Sasquatch. No video has ever showed anybody holding that. That's the first time I've seen that.
To this day, researchers and scientists dismiss its existence despite the many sightings and alleged evidence. Sasquatch officially is still a cryptid, or a creature whose existence is still speculated and not proven to be true. This is a video that allegedly proves the existence of Sasquatch. You can see these giant trees swaying suspiciously, and it almost looks as if an animal or a massive being is passing through it. Could this be the elusive Sasquatch? What do you think? Number 5. Drone rescue. Firefighters are incredible individuals who dedicate their lives to save people from dangerous situations.
Oh man, I just had a flashback with that right there. Y'all know what that is? What they doing right there? They doing a quick dress. As a firefighter, one of the things we had to do back when I was one is you were required to be dressed from street clothes to fully donned all your gear on in 2 minutes. You had 2 minutes to do it. Now, we used to do competitions because some of us could get it done sub 1 minute. You know what I mean? So this right here took me back, bro. Them days I used to spank them boys getting dressed quick.
Firefighters are incredible individuals who dedicate their lives to save people from dangerous situations. However, in emergency situations, time is of the essence. Firefighters try their best to respond to the scene as soon as possible, but if there's heavy traffic on their path, it's inevitable for them to arrive a little late. But drones don't need to worry about traffic. What's more, restrictions and limitations of fire trucks don't apply to them. Some countries have started to develop drones to help extinguish fires, and it's incredibly effective. These aircraft can easily fly and extinguish flames in the upper rooms of high-rise buildings with no problem, and they can be deployed to the scene faster than trucks. It might take us years before we can incorporate drones in rescue operations.
Now, some people look at that 2 different ways. Some people like, oh, they're taking the firefighters' jobs. Listen, those drones are needed, bro. First of all, they said they can get there before the trucks. Time is of the essence. You know what I'm saying? So getting on scene quick enough and starting to extinguish the fire, bro, that saves lives. You know what I'm saying? That saves a lot of lives. Then it decreases the amount of fires that or smoke inhalation that a firefighter can get. You know what I mean? And a lot of them do end up with long-term health effects. So them being able to use different devices to their advantage, I'm all for that, bro. I'm all for that.
But these recent innovations show us that not too far off in the future, we'll be able to integrate drones into almost everything. And now, it's time for today's topic. If the drone didn't capture this, no one would believe it. In this photo captured by a drone, you can see a group of creatures swimming in the water. This was uploaded by an anonymous user in an online forum, and it's been making waves on the internet recently. Some people claim that the beings in this photo are mermaids moving towards warmer waters, but a lot of people think otherwise. I mean, mermaids? I don't think so, but I'll let you be the judge. Legends about these creatures have been around since 1000 BC, and for thousands of years, seafarers and sailors have been spreading stories about them. But to this day, there's still no solid evidence that they actually exist. Few alleged mermaid sightings have made rounds on the internet, but none of them have been proven true. For all we know, the creatures in this photo could just be blue whales, or even stingrays migrating. What do you think? As always, comment down below with the hashtag today's topic, and let us know your opinion about what we just showed on screen. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 4. Creepy playground. One of the things adults always advise to kids is to never ever trust strangers. And in recent years, even adults find it hard not to be suspicious of everyone else. Now, I don't know about you, but an all-black outfit and a creepy baby mask are both red flags to me. In 2020, these two guys were exploring a deserted playground one snowy day using a drone when they encountered a suspicious guy. The man is dressed just like those killers in horror movies. He's dressed in an all-black outfit and is wearing a baby mask that covers his entire face. When he noticed that he was being stalked by the drone, the man stomped his feet on the ground, seemingly throwing a tantrum before running away and entering one of the abandoned shelters near the playground. You might argue that this is just a prank, but regardless, it's still pretty creepy. Can you imagine how confused and bewildered a random stranger would be if they see a man dressed like this in a deserted place? They often say not to judge a book by its cover, but in this case...
Oh, I'm judging, and I'm calling the police, and I'm having that playground shut down until they locate who that was. No kids need to be out there.
I think I'll trust my gut, and I really think this masked person is up to no good. Number 3. Way to another dimension. You might think this is a scene from a fantasy movie, but this is very much real. This is the Covao dos Conchos. It's located in a remote corner of Serra da Estrela Natural Park, and because of its appearance, many see it as the portal to another dimension. I mean, I can see it. This waterhole is one of Portugal's most guarded attractions.
Can't lie to y'all, that's one of the scariest things I've ever seen right there. So where does it lead to? It's literally like a black hole in space. It's sort of what that's like to me. Because if you step inside of it, gravity's gonna pull you down.
And not a lot of people are aware of it.
And then you don't know where you're headed. And if you're gonna survive, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that there is scary.
Its existence. But hey, now you know. Its opening is roughly 4.6 meters in diameter with a circumference of 48 meters. This waterhole leads down a 1,500 meter long tunnel that delivers water straight to the Lagoa Comprida hydroelectric dam. Because of how surreal it looks, many claim that they get the heebie-jeebies when looking at the place. Unlike other spillways and waterholes around the world, nature found a way to thrive in the Covao's opening, and you can see foliage and moss growing near its edges. In fact, in the winter, it looks like the opening of a cave that looks similar to a portal to another world. People are free to visit the mountain range where the waterhole is located, but extreme caution is advised, especially if you plan to visit during the winter. Number 2. Drone Hoverboard. No, this isn't a scene from a superhero movie. This is an actual person riding a huge drone-powered hoverboard through traffic. This video that resembles a trailer clip of a villain features an Omni hoverboard, or simply an Omniboard. Being able to levitate through city traffic might sound cool, and you're already probably wondering whether this hoverboard is for sale. I hate to disappoint you, but we're still far off from the futuristic era where everybody rides their sick drone-powered boards to school and work. The man in this video is most likely a part of the team that wants to produce these boards and sell them in the near future. But for now, it's not out for the public.
Definitely still a little too shaky for me. You see the way he was wobbling? Yep, too shaky. Gotta stabilize it some more for me, bro. I need it like a cruise ship. When you're walking on a cruise ship, you don't feel it moving. That, I don't need to feel it moving.
However, the last time I checked, they're close to releasing this product to the market, so if you are interested, you better be prepared to shell out an eye-watering amount of $36,000 or more. What's more, you also have to prepare yourself for the steep learning curve of this hoverboard. I guess in the near future, people would be using this drone-powered tech instead of driving a car when traveling alone. Number 1.
I'll wait till they come out with like the knockoffs. You know what I'm saying? I take my chances with those. Those would be a sub $1,000 range. Yeah, I'll take my chances with those.
Creepy Scarecrow. We often see scarecrows in the middle of the field, and they're generally placed there to protect crops from birds. We've been making scarecrows for thousands of years, and they play an important role in making sure that people don't starve to death. The Egyptians used these creepy human-like figures to protect wheat fields along the Nile River from flocks of quail. And in 2500 BC, Greek farmers used wooden scarecrows in the likeness of Priapus. He was the son of the god Dionysus and the goddess Aphrodite, and unlike many of the gods who had unrivaled beauty, Priapus was said to be ugly enough that even birds would be repelled by his appearance. In short, scarecrows are effective in keeping birds at bay, and it soon became an important tradition to create them. But just because they're helpful doesn't mean they aren't creepy. You gotta admit that there's just something unnerving about figures that look human, but not really. They give off the illusion that they're watching you, and that they're about to come to life at any second. In this video, a group of friends was testing out their new drone in a massive cornfield when they noticed this suspicious scarecrow. They observed it for a little while, and they soon grew terrified when they noticed that the scarecrow could move. Well, it's a good thing he's stuck there in the middle of nowhere, because that means this scarecrow won't be able to freak anyone out, aside from the birds that try to invade his cornfield, that is. These drone clips surely are quite interesting. Which one intrigued you the most? And do you think drones are the future? Let me know about your thoughts and opinions.
This one was the one that creeped me out the most.
In the comments below. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on the
Yeah, that one, like I said, reminds me of a black hole. No, thank you. I wouldn't even get nowhere near close to that thing. No. Only way I would see is through drone footage. That's it. So, but yeah, man, y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this video, bro. And stick around and stay tuned. Next one, I'm gone. Peace.